What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next I've got this box, one other big box to open. I honestly don't remember what's in either of them. I did not check beforehand, but I'm sure there are some cool books in here. So let's go through these, and if there are any that I think are undervalued right now, I'll let you know in there. Any that I think that you should be avoiding, I'll let you know in there. But we'll see. We'll open it together. So before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. Like I said, I've got two boxes, both about the same size. One feels a little heavier than the other. Maybe there's like 3 books in one, 4 in the other. I think they're all slabs, but I don't remember. So we'll see. These are boxes. These are books that I picked up from Heritage. So get these open and see what we got. Got one little package of books. Another one. Okay. That's what tricked me. So there were, I think there are 3 slabs and 1 raw book. So I think that says that I buy too much from Heritage because I knew how many books were in here from the weight of that box. But let's see. Yeah, we've got 3 slabs in this one. And then one raw book. I'm trying to remember which raw book did I buy. Oh yeah, I remember which raw book I bought. That is one that I think is a good book to pick up. So this raw book, when we talk about that one, definitely a book that I think is a good one to pick up. Oh man, I got a few of them in here. And one to avoid. Oh, this one's got everything. All right, so we got everything in this one. So, first one, you have seen me open this book so many times. I have 4 copies of it now. I have all the low grades. This is Avengers number 4, first appearance for Silver Age appearance of Captain America. This is a 1.0. I now have a 0.5, a 1.0, a 1.5, and a 1.8. Anytime I can get this book at what feels like a pretty cheap price to me, I buy it. I mean, this is a major Silver Age key. It's not a top tier key. It's not like X-Men 1 or Fantastic Four 1 or something like that. This is a major Silver Age key, and I think it's been coming down some, and that's why I think it's such a good book to buy right now, and so I keep buying it. I'm gonna keep buying this book if I see it sell for cheap, because I know some people won't want to get lower grade books like this, you know, these 1.0s, 1.5s, that kind of thing, but there's a price point for everybody. You know, not everybody can afford to spend $10,000 on an 8.0, but you know, $1,000 or whatever for a 1.0 or $800 for a 1.0 is pretty reasonable. A lot of people can afford that, and then you've got that book. Then you can work on upgrading it later if you want, or just, you know, be happy with having that book. So, first Silver Age appearance of Captain America. I am just going to keep buying that one. All right. Now this next one is one that I actually talked about avoiding these unless you get them at a great price, and I felt like this was a great price. This one also has a crazy store stamp on it, but this is Incredible Hulk number 6. I mean, look at that store stamp. They really wanted to advertise their model and hobby shop. But let's see, what state's that in? Did it even say? Nah, I can't tell. But this is Incredible Hulk number 6. This is the first appearance of the Teen Brigade and Metal Master. But this is the last issue of that short 6-issue run before he went away for a number of years before coming back in Hulk 102 after appearing in Tales to Astonish for quite some time. But these books have all skyrocketed, just skyrocketed in price. And so I have generally been saying to avoid them. Again, there's always a caveat unless you get one at a great price. And so I picked up that high grade 6.5 Hulk number 2, the first screen Hulk. And then this one I also felt was just a killer price. And, you know, despite the store stamp, pretty decent looking, you know, decent presenting 2.5. I mean, there's some issues going on in the back, that piece out of the side there. But, you know, you don't really look at the back cover. And so decent presenting 2.5. And I felt like this was such a discount to recent prices that I decided to pick it up. But yeah, overall, I do recommend avoiding or being cautious around those first issues of Hulk right now, because they've all gone up 100, 200, even more, like 300% in some cases. And so they're really, really hot books right now. And so you want to be careful with them, because I could easily see those books coming down. Now this last one, this is another book, or last slab, and I've got the raw book, and I have the other box there too. This is one that I have been buying as well when I can find it for, again, a discount to those recent prices, but it's come down quite a bit. It's already at a really big discount. I think this is a great book to be picking up right now. It's also one, they always grade this book so hard. This is Hero for Hire #1. This is the first appearance of Luke Cage. It really sounds like they're bringing that character back. And these books have come down a lot since the spikes and when he was on Netflix and everything like that. So definitely a book that I would be keeping an eye out on. Not a bad book to stack up, especially if you can get some of those higher grades. It gets really, really pricey once you get up into the 9s. But man, 7.5. Let's take a look at this one. There's a little crunch down on the, see that, down on the corner there. Tiny little tear right there. But, I mean, let's see. There's a little bit of wear, like that crease there. Man, that's the thing I've really noticed with this book. They grade, like, that, in this case, that spine is in really, really nice shape. If you've seen this book before, that spine is usually just wrecked. They grade this book so hard compared to most other books of the time period. Yeah. 7.5. That's rough. That is rough on this book. This is a nice presenting 7.5. I don't know if it could get out of an 8, but an 8 seems very reasonable for this book. Just with that little crease down there. So, but yeah, 7.5. Is what it is. But that one, definitely a book that I think is worthwhile to be looking for. And this one right here, let me do it. I think I just have 2 copies of this one right now. One of them is at CGC as we speak. This one will almost certainly be going to CGC. We'll be following it there. And this is an Amazing Spider-Man Silver Age key. Sometimes they package these things so strange. I don't buy raw books all that often from Heritage, but every once in a while. The funny thing is that this one has the exact same stamp on it as my other copy, and it's not a stamp that you see very often, so I thought that was pretty cool. So this is Amazing Spider-Man #20. It's first appearance of the Scorpion. It's a pretty nice looking copy. I think they graded it like a 5, maybe. I think it feels more like a 4.45 to me, in that range. Because like this, I'd have to check what they graded it as, because it feels like a 4.45 to me. But spine's got a little wear to it. The big thing is down there. You've got multiple creases on that corner there. But the thing I'm talking about with the stamp is it has this Pence stamp. And so this doesn't mean it's a Pence copy. It means it's a Pence stamp, so it was a US copy that was likely sold over in England, the UK, or whatever, and so they have that Pence stamp on it. And my other copy has that Pence stamp on it. So I just think that's crazy that I have 2 of those now that have that. But regardless, I think this is a character we're going to see. Matt Gargan was in that first Homecoming movie. He wasn't there as Scorpion, but that's who becomes the Scorpion. And so I do expect that we'll see this character. He was talking to the Vulture. I think the Vulture is putting together a team. And so I think that this is a great book to spec on right now. Again, you can't really go wrong with those first 20 issues of Spider-Man. Especially with the key. They're almost all keys. There's a couple maybe that you'd say aren't. Almost all keys. And when you got a first appearance, Silver Age first appearance of a pretty major Spider-Man villain, not a bad book to pick up at any time. But I think this is a great spec book. They're not cheap, but this is one that if you want to buy a Spider-Man book on spec, I think this is a great one to do it. All right, so now we've got this other box here. This one is a little heavier, so I'm gonna guess 4 slabs. Yeah, probably 4, because yeah, that's why it's got the extra weight. They do this a lot where they put 2 boxes in, which is great. There's plenty of protection for the books. I've never had a book that gets damaged when I'm having something shipped from Heritage. Oh, this one has a raw in it too. Man, I hadn't bought raw books from Heritage in quite some time. I felt the prices for the raws that people were paying on Heritage were just really, really high. Like, full-blown slab prices for raws. And so I hadn't bought them. Make exceptions, you know. There's certain books I'll watch. I'll still watch them, whether I'm going to buy them or not. And that one I'm happy to pick up that one. It's an incomplete. All right, so there's 4 books. We got 3 slabs and that one raw. Right. Oh, that's what that one is. Oh, that's such a cool book. All right, so I'll save the raw for last. First book here. This is another one that, if you can get it at a good price, I'd be picking it up. Because again, I've been seeing prices come down some, and I think it's just never a bad book to own. And this is Star Wars #1. It's the second copy I have in a 9.6. This one's white pages. Just this, I mean, the Star Wars franchise is just so huge. I mean, there's so many people out there that are into Star Wars, collecting Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I mean, the 9.8 has gotten so expensive. It's like $5,000 or $6,000. So, getting a 9.6, you get it for a little bit of a discount, and then it's still looks really nice. So, 9.6, Star Wars #1. I think those are good books to pick up. This one I just bought because I thought it was a great deal. I'm not specking on it or anything like that. This one is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #5. It's a 9.8. This is the first issue where they're now in this regular comic size. They're not in that larger magazine size. And it's the first issue where the cover is multicolored, because 1 through 4, they're all kind of like single color strike covers. This one has really cool multi-cover. And you can see, this really shows you how violent the early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles books were. I mean, they're, shooting guns at everybody, and really cool wraparound covers. These early Turtles books, they're great. I think a lot of them are still pretty undervalued. Like, outside of issues 1 through 4, these are all pretty cheap. And I don't know, with how popular the Turtles are, I think that I'm surprised these don't go for a little bit more. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #5, I just think that's a pretty cool thing, because it's that first time you've got the book where it's normal size, you've got the multicolored on it, and a 9.8. So, but for those early ones, I would recommend trying to go for 9.8s because they are so affordable right now. 9.8s are the way to go, in my opinion. All right, this is a cool one. I love this cover. It's maybe like a 9.0. I think I had a 9.0 that I sold a while ago. This one's gonna be tough to sell. I'll have to think about it. This is a cool book. I said I don't buy signatures very often, but when I do, I buy Stanley signatures. Stanley signatures are basically, of any signature that's out there, that's the one that really just commands value. You can add huge percentages to books, multiples, times the value of the book with that Stanley signature on it, especially when you're talking about it being on Silver Age keys or big keys. And with the popularity of this character, who knows what's going to happen potentially with these. But this is Submariner #5. This is the first appearance of Tiger Shark. I love this cover. I think it's such a great cover. Submariner 6, I think, is actually a better cover. They're both Buscema covers, but Submariner 6 is just this awesome kind of like battle cover. This one I really like because this one has this feel like a Golden Age Good Girl Art cover. You've got she's blue, but it's the woman in the red dress in trouble on the front. You've got Submariner coming in to save her from this villain, but you've got this great silver Stan Lee signature on there, and a 9.4, just a crazy grade for this book. Yeah, and it looks nice. It is a nice looking copy. There's always those weak grades, strong grades, that kind of thing. This is a nice looking 9.4. Real happy with this one. So yeah, first appearance of Tiger Shark. Beautiful looking book. Stanley signature, and that silver signature really pops there. If it had been black, it really wouldn't show up too well, but that one, you can see in the light, that's killer. So yeah, awesome book. All right, now the last one. So this one is, I don't remember what it's missing. It's incomplete. I can't remember if it's missing multiple pages or if it's missing the centerfold, but once it's incomplete like that, you kind of learn it doesn't really matter. It's going to get the 0.5, and I have seen people pay just as much for a copy that is missing like 8 interior wraps as one that's missing the centerfold. You know, it doesn't seem like it matters. So I'm going to, Heritage always has these little stickers on here, so I'm going to take it out so you can see it without the sticker in the front. This is a Golden Age book. I have been picking up these books recently. I think that it's hard to say a book has like no ceiling, but I feel like these books almost have no ceiling. They just seem like they're just going to keep going up. There's so much demand for them. This is Marvel Mystery Comics number 20, and this is a Submariner and Human Torch cover where he's beating up Nazis. Those are the ones you want to get. You want to get the covers where Submariner or Human Torch or Captain America, he's not in Marvel Mystery, he's in other books, but in the other titles, Captain America punching Nazis in the face. Those are the ones, and when they're done by Alex Schomburg, which this one is. Those are the ones that just keep going up and selling for more and more because there's so few of them, and you just don't have that many opportunities to get them. And yeah, it's incomplete, but it's a pretty nice looking incomplete book. It looks like somebody probably like drew on the M and then they're like erased it, you know, something like that, but I don't care. I mean, look at that thing. I mean, you're not even that far away from it, and this thing looks really sharp. Like, this is just a couple feet from the camera. That is a nice presenting copy of this book. Let's see what the opening splash page looks like. This guy. A lot of times those opening splash pages are pretty cool. So it's a Human Torch opening splash page. There we go. So there's that opening splash page. And I guess you don't get to see the insides of these very often. Oh man, the back cover's awesome. I hadn't even looked at the back cover. Oh. So one of the best Captain America covers is Captain America number 3. Check out that back cover. Captain America number 3. With the woman in the gun, like bondage cover with the Red Skull. You could not ask for a better back cover than this. That is awesome. I was focusing on the front cover with this one, but man, that makes this book even better. You know, you've got great World War II content on the front cover, and then the back cover, you've got Red Skull. That is awesome. So this is a cool book. I'm really excited to have gotten this one. Complete copies are they're so expensive. So I think just getting an incomplete copy is fine to me, especially when you can get one that actually presents pretty well. I'm definitely going to send this one in to get graded. I'm probably going to get it pressed and cleaned as well first, just to make it look as nice as possible in the slab, because that's a big part of it. You know, yeah, it's not going to add anything to the grade, but it can make it look nicer because it's got, let's see if I can get like in the light here. It's got a little bit of like, whatever, rippling or whatever you want to call it. Not much, it's really not bad, but a press will make it look a little bit smoother, get a little more kind of like sheen on it, that kind of thing. And so definitely a book that's worth doing that. But yeah, really excited about that. Show you that back cover one more time. There's that back cover. Awesome. All right, so those are all the books. Again, I feel like there's some good books in here that are worthwhile to be searching for right now, like the Star Wars #1. That's one that's definitely worth going after. That Hero for Hire #1, that Luke Cage. Those books have come down a ton. Great books to buy. I think Amazing Spider-Man #20 is an awesome spec book right now. Remember, be careful with those early Hulks, and you can never go wrong with Avengers #4 for Silver Age Captain America. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. I've got more videos over here if you'd like to watch some of my other videos, and the subscription button right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.